Anyone who ends up here can't escape the electric chair. To lessen the pain, each prisoner here was shaved into a skullet. Then they place a soaked sponge on top to help the current pass through their brains quickly, making the suffering a little less. One day, a giant showed up at the prison. Cars were crushed under his weight. The guards were all uneasy because if this giant fought back, 3 or 4 men might not be able to control him. But next to him, Percy had no clue what was going on.
We got a dead man walking here.
Warden Paul quickly told him to shut up. He didn't want to provoke this big guy. But when Paul looked up, he realized the massive frame belonged to a man with a surprisingly kind face. He said his name was Coffee. Then he asked Paul if the lights were off at night because he was afraid of the dark. With that, he politely extended his hand. Looking at the friendly Coffee, Paul's instincts told him something else was going on. He flipped through the man's file. That's when he learned about the 2 missing girls. But when the police found them, they were lying in Coffee's arms lifeless.
I tried to take it back, but it's too late.
And Coffee was immediately labeled the killer. But it was this swift conviction that made Paul suspicious. He may have been the warden and also the executioner, but he was inherently kind. Before every execution, prisoners had to pass through a corridor between their cell and the execution room. To comfort them, Paul had the corridor painted green. Later, the corridor linking life and death came to be known as the Green Mile. Unfortunately, Paul's kindness didn't get him a good return. He often struggled with health problems. Every time he went to the bathroom, it felt like torture. He even woke up in pain while sleeping. One day, the prison welcomed a new inmate. The man named William looked completely dazed. This made the guards relax their guard. But Coffee warned Paul to be careful. Sure enough, William revealed his true nature soon. Just as he was choking one of the guards, Paul rushed over to help, but was kicked right in the groin. The blow nearly took his life. Even the usually cocky Percy was stunned. Luckily, another colleague arrived just in time to defuse the situation. Looking at Paul kneeling on the ground in pain, Coffee kept calling out to him. When Paul finally managed to drag himself to Coffee,
What do you